If you're tired of quoting jobs where people ghost you for the cheapest bidder or ask, can you do it for cheaper? I'll show you exactly why that keeps happening, how to stop it, and how to attract people who actually value your work and fill your calendar with jobs you actually want. My name is Sam. I own a marketing company who's helped solve these types of issues for many other people just like you. So many businesses think in order to close more jobs, they need to lower their prices. But it's not about your prices, it's about your positioning. So when you look like every other option available to them, whether that's online, your social media, just in general, it's no surprise that they're going to choose the cheapest option, right? You look like a commodity, you look like everyone else, so they're just going to choose which one is the lowest price. A lot of people kind of market themselves as a laborer in their craft and not a professional. And at the end of the day, if you're a consumer, if you're a customer, and you just see all these laborers, right, at the end of the day, you're just going to choose the cheapest option. So what you need to do is kind of shift people's perspective about you to have them kind of start saying, that's the guy that does it right. He's not the cheapest, but he does a really good job, and it's worth paying a little bit more for him. And here's how we had to do that. So 95+% of people, no matter where they hear about you, whether that's from word of mouth or from social media or an ad or whatever it is, 95% of people are going to be going to your website or your social media before they ever contact you. Which basically means most people are making up their minds about you within the first 3 seconds of going to your website or your social media. They will paint a picture about you, and if you don't nail it in the first 3 seconds, they immediately paint a picture. Okay, you're this type of landscaper, you're this type of plumber, you're this, you're like everyone else, or you're, oh, okay, these guys seem like they're doing, they're pretty legit. This seems, I'm kind of confident in this. Oh, they have a lot of reviews coming in. They have a nice website. Okay, these guys, maybe I should dig a little bit deeper. Oh, maybe I should, be willing to pay these guys a little bit more, right? That's what we have to be doing. And it all comes down to our website and social media. The first thing that people look at, the first thing that 95+% of people look at. It doesn't matter if it's coming from word of mouth. Think about it. Nowadays, it's 2025, right? About to be 2026. Your consumers, when they hear about you from someone else, right? The first thing that they do, they don't just immediately like, hey, what's your phone number? Hey, can I put their phone number in my contact book, right? The first thing they do is look up your business name on Google to find your phone number. And when they do that, they run into your website. They run into everything else. And when they're running into that and it looks like shit, but then they're on Google and they see all the other plumbers, all the other landscapers, all the other people who have more reviews and a better presence online, you lose them. So when your online presence looks rushed, outdated, or just looks like shit, you lose these customers. You lose their confidence. And you become just this price match game where they just want to go with the cheapest option. And majority of people look like this online. So that's why the majority of people are price shopped options. It's only a small handful of people who are able to get out of that and get out of that rat race. And they've done that through their online marketing. And yes, there's people who have relied on word of mouth completely. And yeah, like if you're been in business for like 40 years, like yeah, you can do that. But I'm talking about businesses who need to grow now. So you might be the best landscaper, you might be the best pool installer, you might be the best, plumber, whatever it is. But if you don't look the part online, you will continue to get the low budget price shopping clients. So the goal isn't even to just get found online, it's to show and build trust with website visitors, with social media visitors, right? It's to build trust with those people. So let me just break down as simply as I can how to do that. All right, so this is kind of falling off the page here, but Google reviews. If there's one thing to leave this video with when it comes to optimizing your presence online and like looking more trustworthy and getting higher quality bidder, higher quality customers, just focusing on your Google reviews is the biggest and most important thing you could possibly do. So think about, you going online, right? Everyone's just, they need service, right? Nowadays, they just look up, plumber near me or whatever, right? You look that up, and I'm assuming you already set up your Google Business Profile. If you haven't set your Google Business Profile up first, so then you can get the reviews, right? But you look that up. Look it up right now. Go on Google. Look up plumber near me. What happens? There's the first three things that pop up. Besides, maybe there's a couple ads in the beginning. The first three things that pop up is the Google Maps section. So your Google Business Profile. On there, it's going to have 3 different companies and a star rating. Now, if you are a high-end client and you are someone who, you have a very specific need, if you're like a landscape design and you have like a big landscape design project, there's a client that has a big landscape design project. At the end of the day, that's a very like specific thing in a higher end clientele and someone who'd be like willing to pay more. At the end of the day, who do you think they're going to choose when they're looking this up? They're going to choose the one who, one, has the highest star rating, and two, has the most amount of reviews. It's all there for you to see. So it's just a simple choice. Okay, this one has 100 reviews with a 4.9 star rating. This one has 3 reviews with a 5-star rating. Which one are you going to choose? You're going to choose the guy with 100 reviews, right? Even if it's a slightly lower star rating. And this goes hand in hand with anything. It goes with plumbing, no matter what service it is, the company that someone's going to be most confident in hiring and the company that someone is going to be most willing to pay more is going to be the company with the most amount of 5-star reviews. And that's why it's so crazy how people, this should be a core strategy in your business. Like, not even just in your marketing, just in your business. Because this will allow you to charge more than everyone else. This will allow you to get higher profit margins than anyone else. This will allow you to be able to pay your employees higher rates and kind of shut everyone else out of business because you can just pay everyone way more money. And the crazy thing is barely anyone is doing this. So it only takes like 30 reviews to start looking like the top option in most markets, or at least showing up on here and kind of becoming an option, right? There might be some companies who have like 1 million reviews, right? And a lot of people will see that and be like, okay, this is a huge company. And then you can kind of market yourself as like the, the smaller family fun, you have like 80 reviews. And a lot of people will choose that over the top, but it's just like, you need to start working on this. For most markets, I see about 30 5-star reviews is where you start to get traction. 60 is where you start to get, like real leads coming in, like you actually seeing it really happen. And 100 plus is when you start to almost solely rely on this to get you free leads that you don't even have to pay for and increase your margins. But it heavily depends on the market, of course, and your competition. All right, so now you're probably thinking, okay, Google reviews are cool. It's the most important thing to do, blah, blah, blah. Okay, how the hell do I actually get Google reviews, right? So a few different strategies that we use at Oakwood. The easiest strategy is going to be that you could just do right now is take your Google review link, and I'll just overlay something to show you where that is. Go to the back of your Google business profile, click the ask reviews, grab that link, take that link, and now go back to all of your past clients, right? You have them all in your CRM. Hopefully you're using a CRM. If you're not, go to your spreadsheet, find wherever you're storing the data of your past clients, go back to all of them and send out personalized text messages, basically just saying, hey, how is your experience going? How has everything been so far? Even if it's from 2 years ago, it was a one-time project, be like, hey, just checking in on past projects, just kind of getting some feedback to help us out. How was that project that we did for you 2 years ago? Everything went well? Do you like it? Just have a personalized communication, like open a personalized communication like that. Say like, hey, everything's going well, right? If they say no, it's not going well, address it immediately and figure it out, right? And if they do say, oh no, yeah, it's awesome, we really appreciate everything, blah blah blah. And if it's something you already know that's gonna say that, like you could probably skip this. But if they say, oh, it's awesome, blah blah, okay, then right after that, just say something like, oh, awesome. By the way, this really helps us out, it helps our business out a ton. If you could just leave us a quick review, boom, leave that review link in the text message. Would you mind just leaving us a quick review? It really helps us out. Boom, done. You'll get tons of reviews. You could even do this over the phone too. You could call your past clients and do the same step and just send them the text while you're on the phone. Done. You could do that. And most of you guys watching this right now, you could probably do that. And within 2 weeks of work of doing that, you could get on Google, you could get to the top page of Google and start increasing the quality of the leads that you're getting and start getting those customers I'm talking about that'll give you higher margins within 2 weeks just by implementing that simple step. Another thing you can do, and maybe you're already doing that, but be as aggressive as you can with the text message in the beginning. But another thing you can do is on the job, if you make QR cards, we do these for our clients, but little QR cards that when you scan it, it goes to that link, right? It goes to leaving the Google reviews. So when you're at a job site, a completed job site, you could do the same exact process. Hey, how's that? Hey, Mrs. Jones, just finished, installing the driveway or whatever. Miss Jones, everything's looking good. You like it. She's gonna be like, oh, it's awesome. It looks so good. Oh, by the way, Mrs. Jones, we really appreciate it. It really helps us out. And you can even give bonuses to your employees that are working projects for every 5-star review you get. So you could even say something like, if you want to just help the guys out, if you could leave us a review, a 5-star review on Google, and you could just scan this QR code right here to do it. If you could just scan this and leave this review, It helps the guys out with bonuses. It's just a good way to kind of give back to them because they worked really hard on this project. Would you mind doing that for us? Like, come on, every single one of those people are going to leave 5-star reviews, or a very high percentage of them are, right? So when you're able to do that, and you're able to implement those two systems, I don't know why circle this, circle nothing. If you're able to implement those two systems, you will beat everyone else, and that could be the only thing you focus on. You don't have to do anything else. Literally, just that can be the only thing you focus on, and you will beat everyone else. All right. So the next thing, and I don't want to get too technical with a lot of this stuff. So nowadays, 50+% of people are going to go to your social media and are going to scroll your content before they go with you, no matter what business you're in, whether it's something that's more artsy like landscape design, or if it's something more simple just like plumbing, right? They're going to go to your social media, they're going to check you out real quick. Hey, let me just make sure this is a company I want to work with. And when they go to your social media and it's just all these like, you hired someone, you hired an agency 4 states away to like post like some, happy Halloween, from XYZ plumbing, like this, all this stuff, like that does nothing for you. That actually does literally does the opposite. It just makes you look like everyone else, right? And maybe you have some other images on there that they just took from the internet and stock images and AI images with some text. Hey, make sure to get your, plumbing now. That does absolutely nothing for you. So what you need, the change that you need to be, is you need to become an expert in the certain field that you're in. And you do that through just short selfie videos, literally. And you don't have to be like dancing on TikTok, like, hey, whatever. This is just super simple stuff. Just take your phone out and do this. Have a, reminder in there and have a system that goes in to tell you to do this once a month, like literally once a month. Just have a backlog of like 10, 20 videos that someone could just binge real quick. And maybe you can just do 20 videos real quick and then just forget about it. But at least have decent amount of videos of you, selfie style videos of you or whoever you want to be the face of the social media, being an expert on the topic that you are. So let's just say you're a lawn care provider. I'm going to take 20 videos, and you probably want to be consistent, because it is helpful when like someone goes to your social media page and they say, oh, they posted last week. Like that does help, but you at least want to have a backlog of 20 videos or so of you posting content of just the stuff that you know about. So like, when's the best time to start mowing your lawn? Like, when's the best part of the season to start mowing your lawn? Quickly just record like, hey, this is Sam with XYZ Lawn Care. Our spring is coming up. The best time to mow your lawn is right now, March, whatever, say the date. This is because X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. You should just do that. A quick video. It takes like 10 seconds. And even if it's something like super technical, like something that might not even help necessarily help the consumer do it themselves, like if it's just you like talking, maybe even if it's you talking almost to like other plumbers, it still is going to give that that shield of like you know what the fuck you're talking about, right? Because if someone goes to your page, if a consumer goes to your page and it's like, hey, here's how to or here's why we should be installing these specific light switches over these other light switch, and you talk about how it's more safe, with fucking whatever is more safe because of this X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. You talk to something like that, or it doesn't matter. It has to be related to you, right? But if you talk about that, people are going to be like, oh shit, I didn't even know, like, I don't even know what this is, but like they're talking, it seems like they know what they're talking about. Oh, and like it's going to be more safe. Oh, I need that for my house. Okay, let me just contact these guys. And then you give them a bid, right? And it's a little bit higher, but then they're thinking back to that video of you do things more safe. And then they're like, okay, actually, that's all right. I'll pay them a couple $1,000 extra dollars. That's all right. I'll pay them a little bit more to do the job. So you're gonna increase your close rates and increase the money you're bringing in. So those are the two things to focus on, right? The Google reviews, do that first, and then focus on getting a backlog in social media, just a few videos, right? And then I'll just touch on the website real quick. I don't want to get too technical. I'll have another video for that. But basically, when it comes to your website, like, get a competent designer. Like, make sure the design looks clean. But that's not really what's going to scream trust on your website. Like, have a decent design. But what you really need to do when it comes to your website has a lot to do with the media, the pictures and videos in there. So here are a couple things that we do with our clients that just really help. But the biggest thing is a lot of people, they kind of, when it comes to the media on their website, they kind of don't have the right pictures, and it causes a lot of people to kind of lose trust and back out. So what I mean by that is, let's say you're selling fence, fence installation. You go to your website, and on the pictures is just a ton of fences, like installed fences, and maybe it's stock images or AI images, or you took the pictures from someone else's website, right? No matter what it is, that's actually not the correct media you want. You don't want to have pictures of fences because you're not selling fences, right? You're not Home Depot selling fences. What you are doing is you are selling the fact that you can build the specific type of fence that that specific type of person wants and has in their head, right? They probably already know exactly what they want. So what you need to do is sell the proof that you can build what they want to build. So the type of media that you should have on your website is like videos of your crews building a fence, pictures of your crew with their company shirt on building a fence, and kind of your equipment running and kind of stuff like that. You could have like in the hero section, so like the top section of the website, you have a video in the background of just like old action stuff of your employees building a fence, and like your truck running, and kind of just like these action shot videos in the background. That's the kind of stuff that you want on your website, because that's the kind of stuff that builds trust. And if you're a plumber, you don't want to just have like some generic stock. I mean, how many plumbing websites have you gone to, and it's like some guy with like a fake smile and like a red shirt on with like a wrench in his hand? You know what I mean? Like that does absolutely nothing. That does the opposite effect. What you need to have is you need to have your employees with their company shirts on with the logo of your brand down in there, plumbing, down doing the thing that they went to that page to believe that they can do, because that's going to shift their perspective in their mind. Like, okay, this isn't just like a stupid picture that I see in every other website. This is a video, or this is a picture of them actually doing the work. And if you're like a landscape design company, you're a fence company, and you want to show off, the work that you've done, it's not necessarily like you shouldn't have it on the page, but it should be more so put inside like a gallery page. You know what I mean? Where someone like there will be people who like they don't really know what they want. They're kind of going to your page, just kind of like snoop around and figure it out. You should put that in a gallery page, right? In your main pages, your money pages, your home page, your service pages, you just need to be displaying that you can build what they want effectively, and that's through videos. And like I said before, that's through that type of content, not through like finished work. Because finished work, when there's no proof that it's you, could have been from AI, it could have been a stock image, it could have been, who knows? So the maybe the website visitor isn't actively like thinking that you stole it from someone else's website, but there's nothing saying that it's proof that it's yours. And when you have a video or a picture that's proof that it's yours with the company shirt and doing the work that it is that you do, that's when it kind of gives that next level, that click in their head, where it's like, oh, this company is this, we'll pay this company, like this is this type of company. So that's the biggest key when it comes to your website. And when it comes to design, it just gets too technical. I'll have another video about that, but just, you make it look nice. That's the best thing I could say. And when it comes to the words, like the words on the page, make sure it's like more so about them. So like if you sell, again, I'll just do like landscape design. If you're selling landscape design, don't necessarily like, maybe have like a little thing that says like landscape design and installation in wherever your area is, but then have like your big headline just be about that. Like, what is the results that they get from your landscape design, right? So like, beautiful outdoor space, your outdoor space beautified with a 24-hour quote, like fast quote, right? So like, what is the result that they get? That's the kind of stuff when it comes to like the words on your page. It should be more kind of talking about the stuff that they will get from the specific service that you do. So additionally, you also are going to want to show off social proof. So a good way to do that is through Google reviews. So if you have your Google reviews, you could embed them into your page and just kind of show like a slide thing of all the reviews that you have. Another thing you could do, quick tip, testimonial videos. So if you want to take videos of your customers who are happy, just like a selfie style video or whatever it is, take a video like that and throw it on your website. That helps a lot too. Just a little tad bit in there. But that's pretty much it when it comes to your website. Also, if you want help on doing this and implementing this kind of stuff, click the link in the description and book a call with me or our team. What we do is basically help you implement your whole online marketing system for all home service companies and contractors. So if you're a plumber, electrician, landscaper, whatever it is, HVAC, click the link. We'll have a conversation and talk about if this would be a fit to implement in your business.